rapid access to comprehensive oncology data, and survival analysis. This is the Oncotoolkit.
In a busy oncology clinic, there's just never enough time. Systematically assessing patient-reported symptoms feels almost impossible. But we all know that missing something can delay crucial interventions and even lead to a preventable symptom crisis. So, what if you could take all those hours of manual guideline checks and just crush them down into minutes? That's exactly what we're going to walk through. An approach that's instant, totally streamlined, and most importantly, evidence-based. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the symptom assessment challenge. Then, we'll decode the ESAS-R score. After that, we'll see how to get instant, transparent interpretation. We'll then bridge the gap from the clinic to cohort research and finish up by looking at how to automate survival analysis. Let's get to it. So, here's the fundamental problem, right? How do we systematically and reliably screen for symptom severity, straight from the patient's perspective? Because capturing their voice, well, that's absolutely crucial for guiding our interventions and, honestly, for heading off crises before they happen. Okay, before we even think about opening the app, we have to get the science right. We're going to build a solid foundation by understanding the clinical tool it's all based on. The Edmonton Symptom Assessment System Revised, or as you know it, the ESAS-R. So the ESAS-R is this globally recognized, fully validated tool, and it's important to be clear about what it is and what it isn't. It's not a diagnostic tool. Think of it more like a clinical compass. Its whole purpose is to systematically screen symptom severity so we can direct care, see if our treatments are working, and formally capture the patient's voice.
And it zeroes in on 9 core symptoms that are just fundamental to the patient experience. We're talking about pain, tiredness, drowsiness, nausea, lack of appetite, shortness of breath, depression, anxiety, and of course their overall sense of well-being.
And here it is. I'm sure you'll recognize this classic paper form. As you know, the patient rates each of those symptoms on that familiar 11-point scale. It's simple. 0 means the symptom is completely absent. 10 means it's the absolute worst it could possibly be. Okay, but the number itself is just the start. The real magic is in how we interpret it. And this table breaks down the validated cutoffs. A score of 0? Great, the patient is in a stable phase. Now, if you see a score anywhere from 1 to 6, that puts them in a deteriorating phase. That's our signal that we need to be looking at the care plan. But, and this is a big but, a score of 7 to 10, that's an unstable phase. That's a red flag that requires an immediate clinical response. So getting that science down is absolutely key, because now we can see how the technology takes all of that and just automates and streamlines the entire process. We're moving from manual work to instant actionable insights. And it all starts right here. Step 1 couldn't be simpler. You just input the patient's 0 to 10 scores for each symptom right into this super clean, intuitive interface. No guesswork, just straight data entry. And bam, the second you hit calculate, this is what you see, an instant result. In this case, a total score of 31 is automatically stratified as a moderate burden. And clinically, what does that mean? It confirms exactly what we just talked about. This patient is in that deteriorating phase, and we need to take a closer look at their care plan right now. Now, this part is absolutely critical. We don't believe in black boxes. The math and the reference tables are right here for your review. You can see right there the exact same score ranges for none, mild, moderate, and severe that we just went over. It gives you complete clinical transparency. You know why the tool gave you that result. Okay, so this tool really does 2 things at once, and they're beautifully connected. It's not just about managing the individual patient in front of you, it's also designed to bridge that huge gap between what you do at the point of care and what you can discover with powerful cohort-level research. And the workflow for this is incredibly straightforward. You just input the scores, you save the results, maybe with a patient ID if you want, and then, whenever you're ready, you export your entire data set. It's that simple. And what you get is this beautiful, clean, research-ready, flattened CSV file. Now, to be super clear, this isn't about EMR integration. This is specifically designed to create a powerful, accurate foundation for your next academic paper or your next QI project. Think about it. It saves you literally countless hours of manual data transcription. Yeah, because this ESAS-R calculator, it's really just the first step in a much larger research ecosystem. The whole thing is designed to accelerate your work, taking you all the way from data collection to getting those publication-ready insights. It's a really simple 2-step workflow from here. First, you take that exported data and prepare and clean it using our CSV polisher. Once it's ready, you upload that polished file directly into the survival analysis tool. And that's where the survival analysis tool just takes over and does all the heavy lifting. We're talking about automatically generating your Kaplan-Meier curves, calculating hazard ratios, and running the log rank tests. It basically transforms your raw clinical observations into rock-solid statistical evidence. So, when you seamlessly integrate this kind of evidence-based clinical assessment with powerful automated research tools, you're doing more than just improving care for one patient. You're actually accelerating the potential for discovery for all of them. So the only real question left is, how are you going to accelerate your next discovery?